I'm back in my house in McHenry, and today we're going to learn a little bit about contractions. Right, Jackson? Well, he's probably just going to practice napping all day. But contractions are so much fun. We get to take apart words and put them back together, and it's going to be awesome. Are you ready? Let's go.
Contractions are just a short way of writing two words. You take those two words and they become one with this little mark called an apostrophe. Here, I'll underline that word, apostrophe. It takes the place of some of the missing letters. Sometimes it's just one letter, sometimes it's two or more. Okay, so let's just look at these examples here. Let's start right up here. It is a very rainy day. Now we're going to look at these two words, it is, and we're going to take them and we're going to squish them together to make them into one word, and it's a faster way of saying it, and it changes to this, it's a very rainy day. We said the same thing, the same kind of sentence, but we took those two words, it is, and we made them into it's. Do you see which letter is missing? You're right, it's the I on is. And instead of that I on is, now we have an apostrophe. An apostrophe is kind of like a comma, but he hangs from the ceiling. Commas like to sit on the ground. Let's look at the next one. He is splashing in puddles. So we're going to take he is, and we're going to squish them together and make it into one word, and it becomes he's splashing in puddles. So he is to he's. The same letter disappeared, the I in is, and it became the apostrophe. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is not my book. And instead of saying is not, you might say this isn't my book. So we took is not and it became isn't. Now you can see what letter is missing. Yeah, the O in not. That's where the apostrophe went. Next one. I do not know where my umbrella is. So we're going to look at do not. And instead of do not, we're going to say, I don't know where my umbrella is. I bet you've used that one before. Don't. So do not becomes don't. And look at that. We use the word not again, and the O is the letter that disappeared. Cool, huh? All right, let's go to the next page. We are going to practice making them into contractions now. So let's start here. It says, I am going to the dentist. So you can see I am is the two words we are going to make into a contraction. I am going to the dentist. So when we make that into a contraction, we say, I'm going to the dentist. Excuse my bad handwriting, hoofda. I'm. So we took away the A, and we put the apostrophe there, and it becomes I'm. Writing with your finger is a little tricky on the iPad. I'll do my best, though. Let's go to number 2. It says, Jerome asked if he is allowed to sleep over. Now you can see we're going to use he is, and we're going to make that into a contraction. What contraction do you think that's going to be? He's. Instead of he is, we're going to say he's allowed to sleep over. So we're going to write the word he, apostrophe S. Remember that I disappears on is when we make that into a contraction? So the I disappeared and we wrote the word he's. Number 3 says, Mina is not home from school yet. Ooh, we used this one on the last page. Do you remember what contraction that turns into? Right, isn't. So we're going to write is, apostrophe T. That not is a little tricky because the N slides over with the is. This doesn't really look like a word, does it? And the apostrophe goes where the O is. So you almost split not up. But that's the only one that really does that. Okay, let's go to number 4. I do not know how to play the piano. Now we did this one before too. What does do not become? Don't, right. So same thing with that not. The N slides over, apostrophe T. So we're going to write do, and then the N, apostrophe T, don't. Okay? And the last one. These dishes are not clean. Are not. What do you think the contraction is for this one? Right, it's aren't. These dishes aren't clean. Okay, so we have the word not, so we're going to do the same thing we did with isn't and with don't. We've got to split that N and the T up. So first I'm just going to write the word are. A-R-E. Now I have to use that word not, so I know the N is going to slide over with the other word, apostrophe for the O, and T, aren't. Very good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to practice not. Let's just look at these ones. Now, we just practiced like 3 of them in a row. So, not is the one that's a little weird because the N, like I said before, slides over with the first word, and the apostrophe goes where the O is, and the T is all by himself. So, right here, let's read that one. Is not. Now, is not becomes isn't. Do you see how that N is next to the is? I can see the word is in there, and then it adds that N there. Okay, let's go to the next one. Are not, and it's slide over here. Here's the word are, and then we add that N apostrophe T. Let's go to this one. Did not, same thing. Here's the word did, N apostrophe T, and that's didn't. Okay, and this one we've practiced a couple times. Do not becomes don't. You got it. D-O, do, and so that one kind of says a different sound even. Don't, okay? Last one, this is like the trickiest contraction there is because it actually changes the word. This is the only one that does this, and it's just one we have to remember, okay? So it's will not. Will not, we don't say, here's an example. I will not climb up the tree. Well, I don't say I won't climb up the tree. I say I won't climb up that tree. So that one changes. So let's look at it on the iPad here. Won't. There's no will there, is there? It becomes won't, and that one just doesn't make sense. It just changes. That's one we just kind of have to remember. Oofda, huh? Okay, let's go practice 4 of these really quick, and then you get to work on your contractions paper for today. All right, I've got the first one right here. The ducklings are not full grown yet. Are not. We know with that not, we're going to write the word are. And then we put the N next to the word, apostrophe T, aren't. The ducklings aren't full grown yet. Okay, let's look at number 2. Please do not lean back in your chair. Now we know do not becomes don't. Got it. Don't. So I write do, slide that N over next to do, apostrophe T, don't. Okay, 2 more. This paint is not the color I wanted. Now when we do is not, it becomes isn't. Got it. So I write is, put the N next to the is, apostrophe T, isn't. The paint isn't the color I wanted. Last one. Oh, we didn't do this one yet. Harvey cannot reach the top shelf. Oh man, look at that. Cannot. That's like squished together. It's like one word, but we have to make it into a contraction? Oh my. Now you can see there's 2 words. It's like a compound word. It's squished together. You can see the word can, and you can see the word not. So, the only thing different about a cannot is we don't need both of these N's. So we're going to get rid of the N and the O, and we're going to write, let me try that again. We're going to write can, and then we're just going to put apostrophe T, because we don't need an extra N. That would just look silly. So we take away that N and the O just because it had an extra N. So, can't. And I bet you've used that one a lot. When you feel like you can't get something done, right? I know I have. So today, when you go to your paper, you're going to be working on finding the two words that you can make into a contraction. So sometimes you're going to find the contraction like aren't in the sentence, and then you're going to write are not. And sometimes you're going to find the two words that you can make into a contraction like do not, and you're going to write don't. And you're just going to practice that a lot today. If you get stuck, you can come back to my video and you might be able to find the contraction that you're looking for. And we'll be practicing these a little bit more after that. Once you get the hang of it, contractions are really fun. And we use them a lot when we talk. So now I bet you'll start noticing them in the stories you read, and even when you're listening to your mom and dad, brothers and sisters talk, I bet you'll hear them. Have a great day, first grade. Bye.